everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is me, Chevonne. I know it has been a very long time. The last time I posted, I believe it was like May. You guys, this moment has just been all over the place and tired and just trying her hardest to gather her life together, but I'm getting it together. So I know I'm sitting on my floor, y'all, in my room by myself. This is like the only point in the day that I could have made this video. My husband's finally home. The kids are eating dinner. The washing machine is not on, making that god-awful sound that it makes. And my daughter is not asking me 1,000,001 questions, and the baby is not crying. So why am I on the floor in my room? Because this is the space I got. This is what I got. This is the only part of the house where they're just not here. So the floor is where I am. Yeah, but I've talked with you guys about why I decided to have my hysterectomy at 32 years old. I had a birthday in July 23rd, and I made 33. So I had the hysterectomy back on June 12th. As some of you guys may know who follow me on Instagram, I posted it the day that I was going to have my surgery, you know, a couple updates and stuff during the stay at the hospital. But I wanted to give you guys like the full rundown of what I was going through and what the reason why, the procedure itself, and how I felt afterwards. So I hear the baby crying. Okay, there's not a real cry. I have been struggling with fibroids for like the last 7 years of my life, and I got my first fibroid right after my second child, I'm so sorry, in 2007. With each child, each pregnancy, I've developed 2 fibroids over and over. But with this last pregnancy, I actually did not develop fibroids. The only thing were the existing fibroids that I had just started to get bigger. It was just a lot of pelvic pain, constant pain. Couldn't really do anything, couldn't do much. Sorry, I have to readjust myself. Lord Jesus, I ain't really be on the floor like this. But yeah, so constant pain and aggravation, and after having the baby, I decided to tie my tubes. So once I tied my tubes, they told me, you know, it would not, of course, tying your tubes is not going to do anything for your fibroids. It's not going to help. It's not going to make it worse. It's not going to make it better. Guys, if there's any men watching, any children watching, it's about to get a little, you know, feminine-y talk in this room. So I'm just going to need you to prepare yourself, all right? You're going to hear words like uterus, period,
fibroids, cervix, fallopian tubes,
whatever. So just prepare yourself. If you're watching this, it's about to get graphic, okay? Don't say I didn't warn you. So after having Savoy, I started having the worst period pains. Ooh, it's not the corona. It's not the corona. So I started having the worst period pains that I've ever had before. This was excruciating. This was to the point where one night I went to sleep. It was the first day of my period, and this was back in November. The first morning that I woke up, my sheet was covered in blood. Covered. I had on a pad, you guys. I had on 2 pads. That is how bad it was. I woke up and there was blood all over my sheets, and I was like freaking out, and I was like, oh my god, what's going on? My husband's like, just calm down, just go to the bathroom, I'll help, I'll deal with it, whatever. Jumped in the shower, rinsed off myself, and as I'm in the shower, I am just watching blood leave my body, just watching it just fall, just boom. Like pieces of my uterine lining was falling out, and I was just like, something isn't right. So luckily my midwife and I, we cool like that, we cool. I messaged her, and she was just like, you know, just come in, we'll take a look at it. So I went in the next day. They did an ultrasound on me, and she was like, oh, you have some blockage with your fibroid, and she was like, that's what's causing it to be really heavy. So there was really nothing that could be done. I take that back. There was something that could be done. I could go on birth control pills to help regulate the bleeding, but I was like, that's just so stupid, because I got my tubes tied, so I didn't have to take birth control pills. I am not good with remembering to take pills. I am horrible with that. So I got my tubes tied so I didn't have to remember to take birth control. So I was just like, okay, I will tough it out and see what I can do. I'll see, you know, if this regulates itself. It's the first period after having a baby, whatever. We went to Maryland for Christmas time. Thank God it finished before we got there. I was like super prepared. I had a towel down, everything this time around, but it still was some spillage. January I came back, period came back again, same thing, just a bunch of blood. And this is what's happening to me, you guys, from the time I've had Savoy up until it was time for me to have my hysterectomy. It was just like every night I was afraid to go to sleep because I'm like, am I going to wake up and be covered in blood? My husband literally would either sleep on the couch my first, second, and third night of my period because he's just like, oh, I don't want to wake up and be covered in blood. I don't want it to touch me, whatever. So it was like really bad. I was just like going through underwear like crazy. Like every day I'm changing my underwear 2 and 3 times a day. I'm changing my pad at least 10 times a day. I'm going through these overnight pads. Girls, let me show y'all real quickly what these overnight pads look like, because they ain't no little baby pads. Let me show y'all. So this is the overnight pads, ladies, gentlemen, if you didn't know, young girls.
Rona, are you sure?
So these are the purple overnight pads, you guys. Let me open it up to show you what I meant, but that I don't need them anymore, so technically, whatever. So this is how it looks, just like on the Tampax commercials, ladies and gentlemen. Let me turn the light down, give me 1 second. Like, it is long. You see it? It is long. It is not small. Imagine this from the front of you all the way to the back of you. 2 of them, okay? 1 up front, 1 to the back. That's how my life was every time my period was on. 2 of those, filling those up like crazy. So, but I was going through 2 packs in 1 period. 2 packs of these whole things, and I think it comes with like 20 something to a pack in 1 period, you guys. 1 week's period. I was going through 2 packs. It was getting ridiculous. I kept explaining everything that was going on to my doctor, to my midwife. I was in communications with them the whole time. And we finally came to the decision that we could either go on birth control. I can have a surgery where they basically burn the uterine lining of my uterus. I forgot what it's called, but I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. They will burn the lining of the inside of my uterus to reduce the amount of blood that is produced during my period, or I have a hysterectomy and totally take out my uterus and not have to deal with bleeding at all. They gave me the offer back in March, and it took me 2 months basically to make my decision. A part of me just felt like I was going to be less than a woman without my uterus. And I don't know how to explain it, and I don't know why, because it's not like I didn't give birth. It's not like I don't know that I was born a woman. It's not like I still don't have breasts, and you know, I still like as if like my vagina would just be gone up and just walked away. But I don't know. It was just like something in me that was just like, oh, I really don't want to, you know. It's like, it's my body part. I don't want to give her up like that. They kept explaining to me, like, you know, your uterus basically is there to help you give birth, for you to have your period, and your period is there because your egg has not been fertilized and it died and it comes out, and that's it. Your uterus is there to give birth. Now, they did not remove my ovaries. My ovaries stayed, and that helps to produce estrogen, so that way I can stay with my feminine looks and not overgrow hair, or you know, whatever the process is when you lose your ovaries. But they were like, you've done your part, and I honestly have done my part to society, Lord Jesus. I've done my part. So I was just, it took me 2 months, but I was like, okay, you know what, that last period in May, I was just like, I cannot continue to do this. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I did not want to deal with it anymore. I couldn't see myself living like that for the rest of my life, or up until I have menopause. And I was just like, I'm already 32 years old, and menopause is what, 15 plus years away. And I was just like, I can't wait that long. Me and my husband both came to the decision that, you know what, it would be best for me to just go ahead and have the surgery. So I had a laparoscopic hysterectomy, and that is basically the process of when they go inside of you. They've made 4 incisions along my stomach, and they use a camera plus 2 mechanical robots to go in to snip the parts of my uterus that they need to snip, and then they pull the rest out through my vajayjay. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but they pull the rest out through my vagina. And that is how they explained it to me, and I was just like, okay. I was under general anesthesia, so they had to intubate me, and I understood everything that was going to happen. They explained it to me, like I had them explain piece by piece the time frame, how long it was going to take, how many people were going to be in there seeing me, you know, butt naked, so on and so on. I needed to know everything. What type of medication was I going to be on? What were they going to give me beforehand and what they gave me after? I asked every question in the book. So starting from way before the surgery, 2 weeks before the surgery, I had to have a biopsy done. They wanted to make sure that none of my fibroids were cancerous and nothing in my uterus was cancerous.
Let me stop and tell you right now.
If you have never had a biopsy done in your uterus, don't ask. Don't ask for it unless it's genuinely necessary, because that hurts. They are going, ladies, they are going inside of you. They're going inside of you, and they are cutting a small piece of tissue from out of your uterus or from out of your cervix or wherever they went in there. They cut a small piece of meat from out of me, and there was no medication, there was no numbing, there was no nothing. There was just polite conversation to get me to calm down so that way I wouldn't have a heart attack on that table. That hurt. That we had to do 2 weeks before. Everything came back fine, nothing came back abnormal, so we were a go. Days before the surgery, I think like 3 days before the surgery, I had to go to the hospital and get your regular pre-op blood work done. I had to have the COVID-19 test done. I was like kind of panicking about that too, because I was
like, oh my gosh, they're gonna stick it all the way up my nose.
But honestly, from a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 4-ish on a pain level scale. It was more of my anxiety buildup, and then afterwards my eyes were watering, and I could feel the pressure from it for a couple days, but it was fine. It really wasn't that bad. If you have to get one, it's not that bad. Take it from a chicken, it's not that bad. So I had all of that stuff done, and then the day we got to the hospital, my doctor came in. The whole hospital staff was absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Let me start there. They were wonderful, 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 wonderful. That was pre-op. Wonderful. Wonderful during the surgery. Well, I don't know because I was under anesthesia, but my doctor, amazing. I love him. He came in, reassured me what was going to happen, that they were only taking my uterus. They weren't taking my fallopian tubes. I'm sorry, they took my fallopian tubes, but they weren't taking my my ovaries. That is staying because I don't have ovarian cancer and I need them to produce the estrogen in my body. So those stayed. They took my cervix, of course, and yeah, that was pretty much it. At this point, I'm going to show you the footage of when I finally came through from the medication. You will see at some point in the video that I have like a little white like circle patch behind my ear. They give you that before the surgery, and that's for nausea, so that way you don't throw up. Most women, I believe after the surgery, experienced some nausea, so now they started giving those patches. So from this point on, you're going to see you're going to see some footage of me after I came out of surgery. I'm telling you exactly how I feel after I came out of surgery. And you will also see my day after when I wake up and everything like that. So I hope it is 4 something in the morning. I'm recording off of my phone because my camera is in this closet over here and I can't get to it. They just came and woke me up to do blood and to take my blood pressure. I'm watching one of the rush hours. I'm gonna show you my face, y'all, but I look a mess, so forgive me, okay? Forgive me, like I said, I look a hot mess. I probably have crust in my eyes, I probably have crust around my mouth, but I have been in so much pain. Right now I have gas. the surgery went very smooth. Afterwards, they gave me, when I was in recovery, I remember them giving me morphine. That barely helped. And then when I got up here, my lady part was on fire. Okay? And I was in so much pain, and I just remember like turning to the sheets right here and just crying. I mean, like crying because I was in so much pain. And the nurses up here on this level were just moving so slow. I could barely talk because my throat was so dry because I got intubated. They took forever. Like, she came in and out 3 times before she bought me a cup of water. What else? Then she finally bought me 2 cups of water. Then another nurse came in and out. I had to beg that nurse to bring me some crackers. She brought me some soup without meat. That's just basically the broth. Some crackers. I crushed up the crackers and I put it inside the soup so I could, have something thicker. And then they finally gave me some Dilaudid. I had to call my midwife. I had to message my midwife, so that way I could tell her that I was in so much pain, so she could tell the doctor that I was in so much pain, so he could call them to tell them to give me some Dilaudid. And I couldn't believe that I had to physically be here crying like a baby before they could even say, oh, well, let me give her something for the pain, because I had morphine downstairs. Ma'am, apparently the morphine didn't work, so I need something stronger. So I finally got that. That helped. Sorry. It burned for a little bit. It burned for a while when it was going into the IV. And it burned for like maybe a minute and some change when it was going through the IV. But once it finally went through the IV, I was able to get some rest. I was able to pee on my own. They came in and they took out my catheter maybe like 2 hours later after that. I was able to pee on my own. So I was like, thank God I'm able to use the bathroom. Somebody falling in a rush hour. So I was able to use the bathroom. My incision opened up. One of my little holy incisions where the robotic hands went through, started bleeding. Not really opened up, it just started bleeding, mostly because I struggled to get out of the bed. But other than that, that's just where I am right now, you guys. This has been one hell of an experience, and all I could say is just make sure that if you are doing this, make sure the post-operative care team is really good. That's all. My pre-op was wonderful. Those ladies downstairs in pre-op made me feel like a queen. They checked on me, rubbed my hair. I hugged everybody when it was time for them to go. All of them have been tested for COVID, so don't worry about that. And they all tested negative. But I hugged them, and they were just so empathetic. They were just so compassionate and so wonderful, so understanding. 2, I think, out of 2 nurses down there out of maybe that's 8 that I saw while I was down there has had the surgery before, and they were explaining it to me. My nurse who was assigned to me downstairs, her name is Ash. I will never forget her. Super wonderful. The care team inside the operating room, super wonderful. My doctor, super wonderful. But up here, I rate up here like out of a 10, I'll give him like a 4, because I'm just dumbfounded at the lack of compassion that they have up here, especially in the parts of the surgery where it would be in the part of the procedure where I would be in the most pain. But yeah, this is where we are. I have more IV left, if you could see it up there. This is like my 3rd bag since, this is my 2nd bag, I'm sorry, since I've been up here. Got in here like around 8 something at night. So I'm gonna just drink some more water, eat another pack of crackers and a Jello, and try to get back to sleep. Breakfast is supposed to be served from 7:30 to 8, and I get to go back to a regular diet. So, and I'm having like major gas pains. I bought Gas X, but now they're telling me that I can't take the Gas X and I need to get up and walk around. And I don't mind getting up and walk around, but it's 4 o'clock in the morning and y'all just came in here to wake me up. So I'm gonna try to get back to sleep before breakfast gets here. And then once I eat breakfast, I get up and walk around and hopefully to discharge me before 12 o'clock this afternoon, because honey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So I'll see you guys later.
Feeling something special for you, and now you got me thinking till the sun.
So it's day 2, 7 something in the morning. My throat is still sore, but that's from being intubated. Just washed my face and brushed my teeth. I put on a satin cap because I'm not ready to do my hair yet, and I changed out of that horrible gown, put on a bra. And then just been trying to walk up and down a little bit, but I am attached to this, so this makes it super annoying. I'm getting kind of dizzy from not eating. They said breakfast is at 7:38 a.m. They said breakfast is at 7:38 a.m. So I'm trying to stick it out, but my stomach is killing me. My head is hurting, and I know they're not gonna give me, I'm pulling my toothbrush. I know they're not gonna give me anything for my headache medicine. It's like everything, I don't know. It's totally different from having a baby. After you've had a baby, when you're in pain, they give you everything you need to stop that pain. When you didn't have no baby, it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe you can kind of just stick it out just a little bit, just a little bit, just try and stick it out. This is what it is, guys. Alone. My face so dry, girl. So this keeps opening and bleeding every time. Hopefully it focuses. Then it's gonna focus. But every time I bend over to get something to pee or to do anything, this is keeps dripping blood, so they're gonna come and put a dressing on it right now. And yeah, they just went to go get more gauzes, and I'm just waiting. And they're gonna refill my bag with antibiotics, my last set of antibiotics, and I should be my doctor should come in like around. My doctor should come in like around 12 or sometime after lunch. I will have lunch, and then they will discharge me because I'm ready to go home, y'all. I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. Before I gobble this down, I forget to show you. Breakfast finally came. It was an omelet with some salsa on top of it, but I just cut it up to make it scrambled, and it came with these 3 slices of bread. I believe that's oatmeal, cream of wheat, juice, milk, grapes, coffee, and then butter and stuff, and then another juice right here. So I'm so happy breakfast came, you guys.
I'm feeling something special for you, and now you got me thinking till the sun comes up. Daylight and my mind is dreaming, and I'm saying too much couldn't be enough, but I'll be waiting for the moment to take me to you. just a couple steps from going over the moon. I wanna move with your body, baby. I wanna move with your body.
So I've changed my clothes. I have to kind of leave my stomach out because I have bandages right here, so I can't put my tights up. But my tights are out, so I have to leave my stomach hanging to not mess with the bandages or the pressure that I'm feeling. I'm gonna brush my hair in a minute, but I am getting ready to be discharged or doing my paperwork now. Hubby will be here at 3 o'clock. Right now, it's 2:14. See? He said okay. It's 2:14. So I should be out of here within the next hour. I'm so happy to be going home. I just want to be in my own space, so I'll see you guys when I get in the car. Alright you guys, so that is the end of my video and that is the end of my hospital stay. As you can see, it's the very next day and I'm wearing completely different clothes and my hair is different and everything, so I was not able to finish recording when I wanted to last night. Like I said, it was just that little moment of peace that I got. So I'm back today. But I do want to let you guys know that I am, as of this moment, 10 weeks post-operation. I am feeling really, really good. I just want you to know that if you are going to do this surgery, that for the first 8 weeks afterwards, for the first 6 weeks afterwards, you're going to see some spotting. There will be brown spotting, pink spotting, red spotting. The red spotting means that you are doing way too much and you need to calm down. The brown spotting is normal. It's just like basically your body's or your vajayjay's last bit of everything that's inside of you or everything that was inside of you coming down. After the surgery, I had like maybe 3 or 4 days of actual bleeding where I actually needed to wear a pad, but nothing big, just like a regular small pad, you know, one of them small pads from skinny girls. Sorry if you're a skinny girl, but one of them small pads that you use, I needed like one of those for like about 4 days. Maybe even less than 4 days. I want to say maybe like 3 days I needed one of those. And other than that, I was fine afterwards. I took like I had like a week of pain. They tell you no driving for about 2 weeks afterwards, but honestly and truly, after the first week, I felt really good. So for the first 4 days after though, I could not pick up Savoy. So if you are doing the surgery and you have a small child, you have to take that into factor. You cannot pick up that child literally for like the first 4 days. You are going to be very, very sore and you're going to be in some pain, not a whole lot, but some pain. She was in the stage of standing and, you know, standing up against the couch and wanting to crawl all over me at the time. So that also really hurt because she was like kind of stepping on my incisions and I had to keep moving her. And that was a struggle for like the first 4 days. But literally after that, I was good. You aren't supposed to pick up anything or even her for like the first 2 weeks, but come on, she was only 7 months at the time and there was no way I was going to go 2 weeks without picking her up, especially with us driving to Maryland and everything like that. There was no way. My husband really did help as much as he could and the kids helped as much as they could, but there was some times after those first 4 days that I had to do what I had to do. I'm a mom. Summer vacation basically was my healing process. I did not factor in the fact that my dad has stairs at his house, so stairs became a little bit of a problem for me, but I just tried to minimize the amount of times I was going up and down the stairs. If you have stairs in your home, that's also going to be a factor, is bending to go up and down those stairs. Picking things up off of the floor, that was that you can't do for the first 2 weeks. You can't physically bend over to pick anything up off the floor. No sweeping and mopping for like the first 2 weeks, which was a plus. And that is pretty much it as far as like physical attributes. Now this is the part that really got to me, that I don't think that they really stressed enough after or stressed enough when I was getting ready to do the surgery, was the gas that you were going to experience after the surgery.
OMG.
That gas. The gas.
The gas.
Literally feels like you are having contractions all over again. I I don't know why. They told me about the gas, and they told me that it was going to be bad, but that should have been like the main thing. They were really trying to warn me about maybe having the pain afterwards and the blood and all that other stuff I was able to deal with. But this gas though? The gas is the worst part. The gas is absolutely the worst part. Not just the gas that you get in the hospital when you're laying down in the bed and you know, a little shoulder pain, the gas in your shoulders, you got to get up and walk it out. No, boo. No. No. The gas that when you have to poop, literally when you have to go and use the bathroom, your butt and your vagina is going to feel like they are competing against each other, and who can have the biggest contraction the most at that same time. I kid you not. I've had times where I was in the bathroom and I was on the floor just waiting and crying, waiting for the gas to like shift itself or whatever it had to do inside of me just so I could use the bathroom. After you have the surgery, they're going to prescribe you some stool softener, and they're going to tell you get the Gas X. I thought I was a G, and I was like, oh, I don't need stool softeners. I took the Gas X, but I did not take them as much as I needed to in the first few weeks of the after surgery. But I was like, no, I don't need the stool softener. So I literally left the stool softener here in Florida. Big mistake. Big mistake. Okay, I was in my bathroom upstairs in my dad's house crying. Okay, I literally felt like I was gonna die. I came out of there. It took me an hour. It took an hour to poop. Who takes an hour to poop? Who takes an hour to poop? Nobody. Took me an hour just to poop. Okay, that is the hardest part. So if you are going to have this surgery, please take the stool softeners. Please take the Gas X. Please take them for weeks and weeks and weeks afterwards. Like I said, I am 10 weeks post-op right now. I keep wanting to say postpartum, but I am 10 weeks post-op, and it still is a fight for me. Take that stool softener and take them Gas X, y'all. Midwife at your 10 weeks post-op, and they will check you to let you know if you can be intimate with your spouse. There is no intimacy, none at all, none, zip, zero, as far as down there. None of that until you've reached 8 weeks. And I went to the doctor as soon as I got back from Florida. As soon as I got back to Florida, literally went to the doctor the very next day just to make sure that I got the okay, so he was able to get the okay, so we okay. So I'm just looking forward to, you know, life after my hysterectomy. Like, it's just different. Like, now I have no excuse, but it really is, it's different, and it feels good. It really does. It feels good because when your period comes, a big part of you is like, oh God, my period is here. It usually just like takes up whatever you're gonna do. If you wanted to go out, if you wanted to go swimming, you know, if you were going on vacation. And now I don't have to factor in those things. I don't have to plan, you know, my anniversaries around my period, or I don't have to plan my birthdays around my period, or I don't have to plan, you know, any family activities and say, oh, okay, I can't attend because I will be on my period. I don't have to do that. Like, I can just live my life. So I'm just looking forward to all the activities post-corona that I can finally attend, you know, without having to worry about my period. That's all. So I hope I answered all of your questions. If you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I definitely will answer them to the best of my ability. This is just my experience that I had with my hysterectomy, and I do not regret having the surgery. I am really happy with my results, and I am really happy with how I feel now versus how I was feeling before. Someone else's experience may be completely different from mine, but this is just, you know, documentation of what I went through. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching my video and so much for coming back to my channel. If you have not already, during the beginning or during the middle, please go and subscribe to my channel. Just hit the link at the bottom. Big red bar, it says subscribe, and you can hit the little bell in the corner. You know, it tells you like, hey, Chevonne, this is me. Chevonne has posted a video, and you know, you can come and watch it at any time. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Please stay tuned because I finally got a collab, y'all. Y'all girl got a collab going on. I got YouTube friends, girl. I got YouTube mommy friends. I'm part of the community now. So stay tuned for that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.